Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. You are watching the voice of the Northwest Suburbs, Andrew Richter, the television show, bringing you the news you need to know here locally, the Northwest cities. Only I deliver it to you. You won't find this stuff anywhere else. Trust me, folks, I've looked. Okay, now, if you've been watching our shows the past couple months, and judging by my ratings, you have, you know that we have been interviewing various political candidates running to represent you in the Northwest suburbs at various levels of government. And we've got another one here today. I want to welcome Chris Rains to the program. Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're running for Hennepin County Commissioner.
Correct.
This year in 2012. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and why you're doing this?
Sure. Well, I'm a local small business owner. I've lived in the district for 40 years. I grew up in New Hope, went to school in Crystal, went to St. Raphael's from kindergarten to 8th grade, and then we moved to Brooklyn Park, and I've been in Brooklyn Park ever since. I own a local real estate company. We do development, housing, different aspects of that, as well as we own 5 retail jewelry and coin stores across the state. And I got involved in politics mainly just because of what has been happening to myself and my business and the barriers to entry or regulations that have been imposed that have affected housing and really have hurt homeowners' equity values. And that was what started me down this path.
Okay, now we should explain that you're running in District 1, and District 1 is, why don't you tell what cities those are?
Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, Osseo, New Hope, Crystal, and Robbinsdale. Okay, so real small territory out there for you to cover, right?
Yeah,
I think it's the size of about 7 legislators.
Oh, that's all? Yeah, they don't make it too easy, those countywide elections. You know, why don't we just start by, if you can tell us a little bit about what the county does.
Sure.
You look at our property taxes and you look at their budget, which we'll get into in a minute, but I mean, what is $1.75 billion? I mean, where does it go in the county level?
Well, the $1.75 billion is actually what is proposed for 2013. That hasn't been set yet. Right now, it's a mere $1.65 billion.
Oh, okay. So well, we got a discount.
Yeah, we have another $100 million possible increase coming, and that's happened 3 years in a row. The property tax budget itself has gone up quite a bit. It's about 40% of the budget. Hennepin County Commissioners are in charge of, there are 7 of them, by the way. There are 7 districts in Hennepin County. I would be one of them, District 1. They're in charge of roads, bridges, transit, the court systems, county sheriff, health and human services, the libraries, that all-encompassing, all those things that run over into other municipalities.
So it's all commingled
Correct.
Together pretty well. Yeah, I've been looking at some of these forms. Trust me, folks, they're written in Swahili. I don't know if you really want to look at them too much. But, you know, you were telling me off camera that you got involved partly because of what happened during the Twins Stadium in 2006. Why don't you explain what happened to the audience and how that brought you to get involved? What were the whole shenanigans going behind that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good background. I've never run for office before. This is the first time I'm running. Never thought about running for office, really. I don't know that was a dream of mine. But in 2006, I wasn't that politically active. I mean, I watched and I read and tried to be involved and make educated decisions when I vote. But in 2006, there was a Twin Stadium vote. And there was a state statute that said if you increase the levy or increase sales tax, you have to ask for a referendum from the voters. The voters.
No, that's Hennepin County,
Hennepin
right?
County.
Okay.
Yep. It was a state statute that Hennepin County had to have a referendum in order to
have a special sales tax just in Hennepin County, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. And when funding wasn't coming together, the Hennepin County Board came up with an idea that maybe we should go to the state legislature and ask them to change the rules so we don't have to ask our voters for a referendum because we don't believe it'll pass. And they really wanted that stadium, regardless of what the voter wanted. And I've been to the stadium, and it's beautiful, and I understand that, but it was the way that it was the way that it happened. And so what had happened is pretty much all of the outstate legislators had voted, yes, you can impose a tax on Hennepin County residents, and they didn't live in Hennepin County, without any vote whatsoever. And that's what happened, and we now have a Twin Stadium. And when that happened, it shocked me. I was so surprised that they wouldn't even be willing. I mean, it's one thing to have the referendum go down. It's another to not even let it happen and then change the law. And that is what piqued my curiosity into politics, and that's what led me to get involved in my local areas in 2008 and 2010. And finally I decided, after what I had seen happen to property taxes and people's homes being lost, and just the sheer cost of equity stripping that has happened through county taxation, I decided to run.
Yeah, you mentioned county taxation. I'm not seeing too many decreases in the county taxes over the past. We have a little chart here. You're not going to be able to see this on TV, going all the way back to 1980. Would it shock anybody to know that in 1982 their budget was $407 million? Am I reading that right? And it is
yes, correct.
It is now proposed to be $1.75 billion for 2013. And you look at the increases every year, the general increases, ranging from, say, 2 to 7% almost annually. I see one back here that was negative back in 1993. I mean, is the county just sticking its nose in absolutely everything? Are they, what is accounting for all these increases? What do they keep expanding into? Or is that not found yet in their documents?
Yeah, well, there's a lot that goes into it. Part of it is, it's not so much that it increases, because all budgets increase and they have to over time. You have adjusted for the rate of inflation and many things like that. But when you do look at their budget over the last 19 years, it has increased at much more than the rate of inflation. When you look at census, even when you're taking information off the county website, you're looking at average incomes since 1999 in Hennepin County have dropped 12%. And since 1999, the budget has increased 62%. So while everybody was losing income in adjusted dollars, the county's budget had gone up 62%. And I think that, I don't think people realize what happens at the county. There's only 7 commissioners. It's one of the largest budgets in the state. And because they don't do a lot of divisive issues, whether it be, it's a nonpartisan race, so it's not Republican, Democrat, it's not fighting. It's just not, for lack of a better word, it's not a sexy job. And so not a lot of emphasis or light is shined in those areas. And I think now that people are starting to say, what happened to my property taxes? More light is being shined in that area. And what is a want and what is a need? And are we really addressing those issues, or are we far above that?